Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 33, Sports Urban Legend TV. I'm your host, William Ramo. And on this episode, we're gonna preview the upcoming SummerSlam event. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, comment on it, and just, you know, if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you could be updated for future episodes. With that said, I'm gonna give you my predictions, and also my co-host Mac from the podcast Sports Urban Legend. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you both of our predictions for this upcoming pay-per-view event. So, with that said, let's just dive right into it. As you all know, SummerSlam is the second biggest pay-per-view event of in the year. So, this is how WWE does it big. This is the WrestleMania of the summertime. So basically, we're gonna start the show. And the first match on the card, and as you all know, it's the card is always subject to change. But the first match that we have up is Drew Gulak, the champion. He's putting his cruiserweight championship on the line against Oni Locran. And, there's a cruiserweight matchup. Me and Mac both agree that Oni Lucran's going to get the upset and beat Drew Gulak in his reign. Up next, you got Charlotte Flair battling the legendary Trish Stratus. If my memory serves me right, I think she's at least a seven-time women's champion. This is going to be her last match, and she's going to go against the Queen, Charlotte Flair, of course, the daughter of Ric Flair, and in her own right, I think she's an 8 or 9-time women's champion as well. So this is a dream matchup. I think they might have fought each other at the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. What was it, 2 years ago? But they're gonna battle one-on-one for the first time, and this is Trish Stratus' first match, and it's in her hometown, Toronto. So, conventional wisdom would be like, okay, she's the hometown hero, she's a WWE Hall of Famer. She was one of the pivotal, divas during the Attitude Era with her longtime rival Lita, Molly Holly, Jackie, Jazz. The list goes on and on. Ivory, they were part of that Attitude Era, from the early 2000s, until the new woman's evolution in the past couple of years has, taken WWE, finally to give the women their due and put them in a more favorable matchup, on the card. So with that said, they want you to believe Trish Stratus is gonna win since it's her last match, and she's at home in Toronto. However, I think WWE is swerving us because one, obviously, is Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair always wins, unless she's battling Becky lately. Since last year's SummerSlam, Becky has had her number. Yeah, Becky did lose to Charlotte. What pay-per-view was that? Was that the pay-per-view right after WrestleMania? I can't remember the name of it right now. When Becky came in as Becky 2-belt, of course she lost to Charlotte, and then Bayley. Oh yeah, Money in the Bank. There you go. Bayley cashed in her Money in the Bank title, contract that she won later that same day, and of course won to become the new champion. So, of course, Charlotte won that last time she battled Becky, but back to Charlotte. The other reason why I think Trish is gonna lose is because it's her final match, and wrestling has the tradition of when you have that your final match, the legend always puts over or promotes the younger talent, to elevate their superstardom. So I think Trish is gonna do the honors and lose to Charlotte and just continue to elevate the legend of Charlotte Flair. So me and Mac disagrees on that. I think Charlotte's gonna win. He thinks Trish is gonna win. Hey, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Trish does win, but no, I just don't see WWE letting a veteran in their hometown, win, against a star, a young star in the business. So, with that said, Charlotte will get the victory. And now this next matchup, I'm gonna sound like a complete hypocrite because Goldberg's gonna be battling Dolph Ziggler. Goldberg, obviously a legendary wrestler, won the WCW title multiple times in the late '90s. Ever since '98, he was a huge star in WCW. Of course, around the same time, Rock and Stone Cold won their first titles that same year. And then, of course, Goldberg, after the fall of WCW, he went to WWE in 2003. And, he did win the WCW, the World Heavyweight title, but he didn't enjoy his run because he didn't have that. He wasn't as dominant as he was in the WWE. And then, of course, these past couple of years, he's been popping up here and there. He reignited his feud with Brock Lesnar. Obviously after that WrestleMania 20 matchup left much to be desired. They had a rematch. It was a few years ago. And Goldberg, ever since then, Goldberg has been coming back here and there. He had his most recent matchup was against Undertaker, which was the first time ever those two legends battled each other, and I didn't see that match. And from a lot of people's account, it's a good thing I didn't see that match. But I do plan on seeing it just to see how the match up of those two icons battling out. Even though from all I've heard, it's a horrible match. But with that said, he's battling against Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, he's a borderline legend in his own right as well. He's been in the business for 11 years or so, basically as long as Kofi has been, in WWE. But Goldberg is hands down a bona fide legend. He went into the Hall of Fame last year, I believe. I think it was last year. I don't think it was this year. It was last year he went into the Hall of Fame. If my memory serves me right. So yeah, I think Goldberg will win, even though he is the older veteran. But yeah, this is essentially going to be a typical Goldberg match. It's going to be a squash match. Goldberg's going to just squash Dolph Ziggler and all that trash talking he's done to all the legends. So that's going to be a win for Goldberg for sure. And then next you got AJ Styles, oh yeah, by the way, Mac also agrees with me. So Goldberg is gonna, is gonna win. It's we all expected. Moving on to the WWE United States Championship match, you got AJ Styles, the current champion, the phenomenal one, versus the one and only Ricochet, and hands down AJ Styles, with the help of the OC, the original club, with Gallows and Anderson. They're going to help Styles to retain the title, even though obviously Styles is phenomenal. He doesn't need any help from anybody to win a match, but AJ Styles is a heel, a villain, so he's going to pull out all the stops to win this, to retain his title. Now this is a match. The next match, and Mac also agrees with me on AJ Styles retaining. Moving on to this matchup that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and this is The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus the Demon Finn Balor. This is going to be a singles matchup. You got Bray Wyatt in his first official matchup since he changed his gimmick from the Eater of Worlds to the the crazy Mr. Rogers children's TV host gimmick he has, mixed with this crazy mask, crazy lunatic character, the Fiend, that he's thought of in his mind. So now we're finally gonna see the Fiend in a matchup. As you all know, the Bray Wyatt, he's been attacking all these legends. He attacked Mick Foley with his old school finishing move, the Mandible Claw. He attacked Kurt Angle. He's attacked obviously Finn Balor. And Bray Wyatt looks like he's finally gonna get that push that he definitely deserved, and hopefully put him on the path of being a two-time world champion. Because as we all know, a few years ago when he feuded with Randy Orton, that definitely killed all the momentum Bray Wyatt had as the most intimidating presence in the WWE since vintage Kane, and of course, the incomparable Undertaker. So me and Mac are both in agreement. Bray Wyatt will definitely win this matchup, and hopefully this will be the start of the resurrection of his career. And speaking of careers, we have Kevin Owens versus the quote-unquote best in the world. Obviously, he's not CM Punk, but that's what WWE's, sticking they're just, poking CM Punk since he abruptly left the company, or he got fired, depending on which point of view you believe. Kevin Owens, he's going to be battling Shane McMahon, and Kevin Owens is going to win this matchup, because if he doesn't, he'll have to be forced to quit WWE, and let's face it, WWE would not want to lose Kevin Owens. Unless if Kevin Owens loses, and it's of course storyline that he has to quit, and he'll find some way to get himself back. But yeah, I think Kevin Owens will retain. Will win that match. Hit him with a stunner, Stone Cold style, and get the W. And Mac also agrees with me also, because I asked him before I did this show what his predictions are. So we're definitely in agreement with that one. You got Bayley versus Ember Moon. It's a singles matchup for the SmackDown Women's title, and Ember Moon. I think Ember Moon is gonna upset Bayley and win her first ever women's title. And me and Mac is in agreement with that one. Bayley's short-term title reign is going to come to an end this Sunday. And then on the other flip side, you're going to have a submission matchup between the man Becky Lynch defending her title against Natalya Neidhart in Toronto. She's Natalya, as you all know, she's part of that legendary Hart lineage, and she's in Canada, so she's gonna she should get the W. But like I was saying about Trish Stratus, Natalya's countrywoman, she's gonna take the L on this one also, because I don't think they're gonna kill Becky Lynch's momentum for Natalya. As gifted and talented Natalya is, I don't think they're gonna make her Becky lose the title to her. They're gonna make her lose the title to somebody like Charlotte, or like a bona fide heel type character. So yeah, I don't think Natalya's gonna win the title. And then you got Kofi Kingston defending his WWE title versus Randy Orton. And this is another matchup, along with the Wyatt Balor matchup. This is another matchup I'm really looking forward to seeing. They have a decade-long feud. Kofi Kingston, basically was talking about that moment when he hit that boom drop on Randy Orton through the table, and that basically looked like it was going to be the start of Kofi Kingston on that championship run. But of course, as we all know, that didn't happen, and of course, Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston had a match, and Kofi Kingston apparently botched the move, and then Randy Orton hit the RKO, and then he infamously yelled, "Stupid, stupid, stupid," and that basically killed Kofi Kingston's momentum until earlier this year, when Mustafa Ali got injured by Randy Orton attacking him, which Orton spoke about that in his promo about Kofi Kingston should be thanking him for his opportunity, because if Orton didn't injure him, Mustafa Ali would have been in Kofi Kingston's spot, which is a valid point. But the fans organically got behind Kofi because of all those years he's been, decade long he's been in WWE, 11 years he's been in WWE, been a fan favorite, and with Kofi Kingston finally getting the opportunity to actually compete for a title match, practically the entire fandom was behind Kofi because he's been a fan favorite. He paid his dues, and fortunately for him, he got that opportunity and defeated Daniel Bryan for his first title reign. But with that said, unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, but Sunday night's going to be the end of his reign. Randy Orton's going to hit the three most devastating letters in WWE history, the RKO, and that's going to be the end to his reign. I hope I'm wrong, but WWE wants to put the title on Orton, so I think that's what's going to happen. And then last but not least, also Mac also agrees that Orton's going to end that title reign as well. And last but not least, you have the 1 millionth matchup between Brock Lesnar, the champion. Stop me if you've heard me say this before. Putting his title, the WWE Universal title, on the line versus Seth Rollins. And to be honest with you, I wish the title would get out of either of their hands, because they've had the title so many times. They battled each other so many times. I'm just done with that feud, to be honest with you. But I think Brock Lesnar is gonna retain it, and Brock Lesnar is just gonna keep holding that title hostage until WrestleMania, when somebody comes and beat him. I mean, who knows? Maybe Rock might come out of retirement and take the title off his hands. Who knows? I mean, who knows who's gonna face Brock Lesnar to take the title eventually off his hands, because WWE, especially Vince, is in love with him with the title in his hand, even though he's hardly there to defend it. So the Universal title literally has no value for a title that's supposed to be one of the top titles. A title that's supposed to be on par with the WWE title that has 50 plus years of lineage. Obviously they changed the title designs over the years, but it's still the WWE title. But with that said, what do you guys think about these matches? Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know. And please feel free to leave a comment. And if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, and hit the subscription and click on that notification bell. So with that said, I'm Will, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.